Developing tonight, the Washington Post reports President Trump is now under investigation for possible obstruction of justice.
That's right. The move by special counsel Robert Mueller is considered a major turning point in the FBI investigation of Russian interference in the 2016 presidential election. KCAL 9 political reporter Dave Bryan joins us now with the latest on this developing story. Dave?
You know, this whole case seems like it's like an amusement park ride, like you're just getting pushed from one side to the other, ups and downs every day. The report in the Washington Post now could mark a major turning point in the special counsel's investigation, and it comes just a few days after that reported internal debate at the White House about whether President Trump should order the firing of special counsel Robert Mueller, adding more drama to an already tense situation.
Any comment about the probe?
On the day special counsel Robert Mueller showed up at the Capitol to meet with the leaders of the House and Senate Intelligence Committees, the Washington Post reports Mueller is investigating President Trump for possible obstruction of justice. And one of the Post reporters told CNN that part of the investigation could begin in a matter of days.
We know that within days, as early as this week, special counsel Mueller is going to be interviewing several key intelligence officials.
Those officials, according to the Post, will include Dan Coats, the Director of National Intelligence, and Mike Rogers, head of the NSA, National Security Agency.
What's important about that is shortly after Coats was confirmed for his position, he was in the White House, he had a conversation with the president, and the president said, can you do something to get FBI Director Comey to back off on the investigation of former National Security Director Flynn.
That sounds similar to what former FBI Director James Comey told the Intelligence Committee last week. He accused President Trump of asking him to let it go. Let go the investigation of former National Security Advisor Michael Flynn and his ties with Russia.
I was fired in some way to change, or the endeavor was to change the way the Russia investigation was being conducted. That is a very big deal.
Ironically, political science professor Jack Pitney from Claremont McKenna College used some of the same words this evening when describing his take on the investigation and the impact it could have on the Trump administration.
This is a very big deal because Trump was always concerned, well, I'm not personally under investigation. And if the story is accurate, he is personally under investigation for the very offense that forced the resignation of Richard Nixon.
The Post report says the investigation began just days after Comey was fired on May 9th, and the paper reports Mueller's team was actively pursuing witnesses inside and outside the government, indicating this is more than just a he said, she said dispute between the president and the former FBI director. The paper also says investigators have been looking for any evidence of possible financial crimes among Trump associates as well.
This report in the Washington Post this evening suggests strongly, given 5 different sources, that the scope of the investigation has changed since the firing of the FBI director and is now targeted directly at the president and his actions, which may amount to obstruction of justice.
And that was Senator Chris Coons. He's a Democrat from Delaware, a member of the Senate Judiciary Committee. Now, it's not clear how far this investigation will go and how much evidence it will uncover. But for a president who worked so hard to get out the word that he isn't under investigation, this could be a stunning blow. And at the very least, it appears to be one more major setback to the administration's attempt to focus on President Trump's national legislative agenda. Jeff, Lena, back to you. Okay.